inside of Shoogly Shed Mark II. Apologies for the slight flicker I think there might be. I'm currently using an LED work light because I haven't got electricity in here yet, and I think it's playing havoc with the GoPro, but hopefully no one out there has epilepsy and we'll be alright. Basically my job for today is starting to fit out the inside of the shed. I've already boarded off the back wall, which is the divider from the main workshop and the store. My next job is to start boarding out the inside walls with the OSB over there. As you can see already, I have treated this wood. I've actually got two different colours of wood treatment just because they were cheaper. So the top half is slightly lighter tone than the bottom half. This is also kind of dark as well, but it doesn't really matter because you're not going to see it. It's going to be covered in OSB. I've also bought this, which is upside down, which is sort of recycled plastic loft insulation stuff. It's made from recycled plastic bottles. My theory there is that it's plastic, so it shouldn't rot at all. And I'm going to essentially staple it in these portions before I put the boards up, just as a little bit of extra insulation. I've got like gaps at the top for ventilation and that sort of thing. So really, you know, when it comes to staving off the cold, it's a big concrete floor as well. Any little help I can get would be useful. So that's kind of my plan, is just stick a bit of insulation behind there, and that might just add a little bit more weatherproofing or air tightness to this space and make it a bit more pleasant to work in, especially in the winter months. But essentially I'm going to go do this one first and that one, then move everything over onto this wall before I do that one, because I'm kind of working in a bit of a shit tip, to be honest. So first up, let's get some of this out and start stapling it in. Another good thing about this stuff is that you don't need any PPE, like breathing apparatus or gloves, because it's not itchy like your fiberglass insulation is. And it's cheaper. Recycled as well. Win-win. So that's this wall insulated as best I can, really. All I need to do is sheet it. What I'm using is OSB orientated strand board, I think that's short for. What I'm going to do is cut the sizes I need, and then I'm going to use a waterproof bitumen paint along the bottom like foot or so, just to stop any kind of rising damp or anything like that might occur from the concrete floor. And I guess throughout winter it might get a bit cold and condense. So just in case anything like that happens, that's what I'm going to do. So that's this side done. All OSB sheeted out, looking good, nice and smooth. I'm going to, before I move onto this side, I'm actually going to paint all this. I'm going to paint the whole thing anyway, but I want to get this painted and then I can move everything over, and then I'm done with this side and I can move on to that side. That I think is the most sensible way of doing this. Good morning, good morning, good morning. As you saw, I was painting the inside of the shed. So I did that one side. Excuse the flickers again. And I now have finished lining this side, so I'm going to paint this side. But, as you just saw, it's a beautiful day. So, I'm going to paint the outside of the shed, because I don't know how many dry days I'm going to have for the next wee while. So I'm going to start painting the outside of the shed, and as I said before, I think I'm staining the whole thing black. Just personal choice. I think it'll look quite cool. It's pretty metal. So I'm going to stain the whole thing black and take a couple of coats of this stuff hopefully, and then that will give it a bit of added protection as well. It's pre-treated timber, but this will just one, help the appearance of it, and two, stop it rotting. Ta-da! Finished. That's outside had 2 coats of black. Looking pretty smart, if I do say so myself. I also had a few coats of paint, as you can see. But I've also finished the inside. Apologies for the flickering light again. Hopefully going to get electrics fairly soon. But yeah, as you can see, it is all white, a bit sort of nice and fresh. I just have a second coat to do on this wall. It's still a little bit patchy, but it is all just wet, so it should even out a little bit more when it dries. Essentially, ignore all the offcuts. I am closing in on the final stages of this build, which are to build workbenches, storage, paint the floor, and move in. That's where I'm going to wrap this episode, and I'll probably bring you back when we're starting to fit out the inside. I've just, as I say, got to paint that last coat on that back wall, and then we can start building workbenches, which is exciting. It'll start to feel more like a workshop then, and not just a big empty hollow space. Anyway, as usual, please do give me a like, leave me a comment, and make sure you subscribe to the Shoogly Chef Motors channel for the updates on this build and for all my previous content. Thank you, a goodbye.